Welcome everybody to day 4 of this online 21-day Sahaja Yoga meditation course. My name is Mark Taylor and I'm in northern New Jersey. And I've been doing Sahaja Yoga a long time, and nothing is more amazing than sharing what is awesome in your own life with other people. If you're new to the course, this is the first time you're attending, you can actually review everything we've covered in days 1, 2, and 3, because we do have a website where all the episodes are recorded. And the other thing you can do is later in the class, you can use the Zoom chat and you can request a breakout room help, and someone will meet with you in a breakout room in the Zoom, and they can go over whatever you've missed. So you have ways to catch up, and any day you join is the right day. So if you have friends or family, they can join anytime. So it's a course, so every day we cover something new. Yesterday we talked about the 3 energy channels within our subtle system. We also reviewed how to raise a germinating and sustaining energy called Kundalini, and also how to give ourselves protection or bandhan. Also, we covered last night how you can practice this on your own, in your own schedule, whether it's the morning or evening, without actually attending a class. But of course, it's always good to meditate with other people. Today, we're going to talk about 2 aspects of this subtle system, the left channel and the right channel, and we'll learn the significance of those. We'll have guided meditations, a video excerpt of one of the talks by the founder of Sahaja Yoga, Shri Mataji Nirmala Devi, live music, and for those people who want to stay beyond the end of the formal program, we'll have a question and answer session as well. The program does last about an hour, but often people want to have questions answered, and so you can meet with us either one-to-one in video or voice chat, or through the texting chat. Just a reminder that Sahaja Yoga is always free. It's so essential to us that you can't put a price on it. So, with my great good fortune, I'm sharing the program tonight with some amazing people. So I'd like to introduce our other presenters, and we also have a musician. So, hi, Steve. I just want to introduce yourself.
Hi, Mark. Thank you. Hi, everybody. I'm Steve Wallenberger, coming to you from Florida. And I, like Mark, been doing this for many, many years. And it really is the greatest pleasure and honor to share something that has given me so much joy with other people. So I'm really happy to be here with you.
All right. And Linda.
Hello, everyone. I'm Linda Taylor from New Jersey, upstairs from Mr. Mark Taylor. We both have been practicing Sahaja Yoga for a very long time, around 40 years. And I am just recently semi-retired from a very long career in the field of adult literacy and English as a second language, teacher training and testing. So now I'm able to devote lots of my time to this course and to teaching Sahaja Yoga, and it's my great honor to share it with you tonight.
And Kirill. Kirill was born in Siberia, and he's going to play a stringed instrument tonight that he trained on in Nagpur, India. Hi, Kirill, do you want to introduce yourself and maybe tell us what you're going to play?
Good evening, everyone. My name is Kirill, and I've been living in Dallas, Texas for the last 7 years. And today I would like to introduce to you this instrument, which is called santur. It has 100 strings, and I'm going to perform today the little piece of Indian classical rag, which is called Bhairavi. Each Indian classical rag has its own mood, and the mood of this rag is peaceful and calm. So this is very useful to listen this rock and or perform this rock to get rid of any kind of stress or anxiety, and of course to get the thoughtfulness awareness condition during your meditation. So I hope you will enjoy it.
I know I will. So now I'm going to hand over to the first presenter for this evening, who will take us through our first introduction and guided meditation.
So today we are going to focus in a bit more on the three channels and especially look at the left and the right channels and see how to clear them. That's something we hadn't shared with you before, and that's a really useful technique. So let's just begin briefly with looking at a diagram of our subtle system. And in this, you can see that we have a central channel, that's this column up the center of our body. We have a left channel that is represented in blue, and it's on the left side of our body, and there's a channel within us that has to do with our emotions, with the past, our memories, our feelings, desires. So that is an important element of our subtle system. And the right channel, of course, on the right side, you can see it's there in orange. And that's where we get more into the future, too much planning and thinking, and overactivity. So the right channel is orange, and we can get a bit irritable and hot-tempered when we go too far, as we say, into our right side. And if we get too much into our left, we can get a little blue. So what we want to do is stay in the center and stay balanced and focused there. So let's now get right into meditation. So we're going to start by putting our right hand on our heart. This is the home of our spirit. We want to get out of our head into our heart. Connect with why we came here today and why we're coming to this course. For me, I was yearning to be one with the divine. I felt we should be able to feel the divine within us. And I was looking for that. And when I found Sahaja Yoga, founded by Shri Mataji, I'm so thankful that my seeking was fulfilled. And I hope you will feel the same way, that when we can feel our connection to the divine very tangibly within us, it's so comforting. It gives us a sense of peace, and we know that we are connected to that divine power. So we have experienced already the awakening of the Kundalini. Now we're going to expand on that and explore how our subtle system within us is so beautifully made. So let's put our attention on the base of the spine. We can put our hands in our lap. And our sacrum bone is where the Kundalini resides. Let's bring our attention there. We can close our eyes. You may not be used to putting your attention there, so just take a minute to find it. Our sacrum bone is at the base of the spine. Even if you're just in the vicinity, that's fine. But be inside. The divine is everywhere and also within each of us. And our Kundalini is the Sanskrit word for this mothering, divine, spiritual energy that is at the base of our spine. She is our spiritual mother, and we are her humble and innocent children. Because when we want to feel her power, it helps so much to get out of our head, out of our ego, and just appreciate her nourishing power within us. So let's invite our Mother Kundalini, who is our pure desire within us, to awaken, and even more strands. This Kundalini is made up of many strands, and every time we can do this now a few times, take our right hand, raise it up, our central channel to the top of our head, can kind of touch there. Let's do that again. So we have our attention inside. We're following our hand, going up the central channel of energy within us, raising our Kundalini strand by strand, slowly, slowly, up the central channel to the top of the head. Let's do it again. Bring our hand from the base of the spine, widening the central channel with these strands of Kundalini energy. Relax, breathe. And again, reach the top of the head. This is our destination. Let's do it one more time. Touch the top of our head. Raise our hand up above our head. This is the space of silence. That our Kundalini can take us into. Now let's bring our hand down. So now we're going to focus on our left side channel. We're going to put our hand out, as you see mine is, stretched out. And we can feel the subtle condition, the state of our left side channel on our left hand and in our body. This is the left channel in our body. It crosses over and winds up here on the right side of our head. So let's put our left hand out and just see what we feel right now on our left hand. can ask, we can ask our Kundalini, we can relate to our Kundalini and ask her, tell me, what is the state of my left side channel? You may feel heat, you may feel tingling, heaviness. That means it's clearing. Or you may feel a cool breeze blowing, and that means it's in pretty good shape. So now we're going to put our, you can see my right hand facing towards the earth. And we're going to close our eyes and ask our Mother Kundalini, please fill my left channel with your divine power of love. Please release any heaviness from emotions or bad memories, anything that makes me sad or stagnant or unhappy. Please let it get released into the Mother Earth through my right hand. So we can try to keep our attention on top of our head, if you can, as we do this, because we are not doing anything. We are asking our most powerful, our own Mother Kundalini, please clear my left side channel, as I cannot do it myself. Please clear it and fill my left channel with your divine love. Now let's put our right hand out, bring our left hand out, and we'll ask the same question for the right hand is, please, Mother Kundalini, tell me the condition of my right channel. See what you feel. Now, for the right channel, we clear it by raising our left hand, bending it at the elbow, and we're going to vent the heat and too much thinking that comes from too much thinking out into the air over our shoulder. Get it out of us. So we ask Mother Kundalini, please clear my right channel of any heat from overthinking. And please fill my right channel with your divine love. See what you're feeling now on your right hand. If you feel heat or tingling or heaviness, it's working out. That's good. If you feel cool, that means it's clearing and has cleared quite a bit. Very good. Let's go back to our central channel. Again, raise up more strands of the Kundalini to the top of the head. We'll do that 3 times. Press down with our right hand on top of the head. Breathe, relax. Raise up our hand. See what we feel up there and see if it's quiet. We can bring our hand down. So now, help you feel the effects of that exercise, or cleared out, and perhaps you're feeling the flow of the Kundalini energy on your hands. See? So let's stay in this state while we watch a video of Shri Mataji, and just let her words, her beautiful energy flow into us. Even if you can't understand everything she says, it still will have a very beautiful effect by keeping our attention and following along with her.
This spirit, when it manifests, it also gives you a state which we call as collective consciousness. It's the state by which you become, again I say become, it's actualization, it is not just talking. You become conscious collectively, means you become conscious of another person's centers on your fingertips. You also become self-aware. You know about yourself, what centers are catching. Where are we going? Like a person who becomes mentally upset, he doesn't know. Till he becomes mad, goes to lunatic asylum and dies, he does not know. But in Sahaja Yoga, immediately you can find out that there's something going wrong with your mental side. If a person gets into cancer, he might get into the state of galloping cancer, about to die, then he may discover that he has got cancer. But in Sahaja Yoga, if there's a little imbalance, immediately it shows on your fingertips. And if you know how to do it, how to correct it, then every problem is solved. So as I told you yesterday, yoga has double meaning. Yoga means union with the divine. That's one. And the second one is the expertise, the deftness, what we call in Sanskrit kaushalam. You must have the deftness, how to handle this all-pervading power that is flowing through us. How to understand ourselves, how to understand others. That's an important part of Sahaja Yoga. First of all, a little light is enlightened. You get the experience of the spirit to begin with. It's an actualization. But then you must make it grow. Christ has given beautiful parables explaining this, the sprouting of the seeds which were thrown on the rocks, some were thrown in the good soil and some were neglected. We find that every day happening. Thousands come to my program and then I find some of them are lost in the rocks. Some of them are wasted, but some of them become huge big trees to give shade, joy and support to others. We have to change this world. How are we going to change this world, this horrible world which is just on the precipice of destruction? The only way is that we have to change ourselves. That's the transformation just waiting to happen. It's nothing that I'm doing about. I really tell you, I don't do anything. I don't do anything. I'm just waiting to get it. You just catch upon it and you get it. I may be just triggering it, but you can trigger it also. So one has to understand that you have to be honest to yourself. You have to be fair to yourself. You have to understand your value. You must know your worth, that you are a human being created out of small things like amoeba from carbon. And today you are sitting here as human beings. You must be something very special. And this special thing has to become that thing which will make you understand what you are. Only thing, you are not yet connected. Only thing is that you have not yet felt that divinity within. We are all potentially divine. We have to just feel that divinity within us. But as a result of that, you are such a powerful personality, power of love. We have never used power of love. We have only used the power of hatred so far. Power of love is much above power of hatred. It can engulf all hatred, can just suck in everything that is hatred. It's very simple. Very simple methods are to be put. Only you must have desire to get transformed. Now the third thing that happens with self-realization is that you get a state of peace, of bliss and of joy. When the Kundalini rises above the Sagya Chakra, you become thoughtlessly aware. It's called as Nirvichar Samadhi, thoughtlessly aware, where there is no thought in your mind. If you want, you can think. If you want, you can think. But if you don't want, you can be in that state where you don't think. Actually, it's maddening sometimes the way man is thinking, morning till evening, yarns after yarns, useless things, a joyless pursuit. But when this thinking stops, you are above the thoughts. I would say, to give it a simile, that the waves of thought come and go away. Another thought comes and goes away. We are jumping on the cusp of the thought all the time. Supposing we can just get in the center of the thought, that is the present. If we could stop at the present moment, then we are not worried about the thoughts. Like the waves of water, if you are in the waves, you are frightened of that. But supposing you are in a boat, then you can see the waves and enjoy them. In the same way, what happens to you that you jump up to a higher state of existence through which you see the thoughts. If you want, you don't want to see, you need not see. Now the thoughts that you see also are very wide and deeper, where you get inspirations. That's why, as Dr. Warren has told you, that your creativity improves. You can become tremendously dynamic because your time is not wasted in wasteful thinking. You just know this is it. This is the exact. This is what we have to do. And that's how people get rid of many of their problems of mental tensions. There's no tension at all. You don't have any worries. You just see the thing like the witness. You become the witness of the whole drama. When you are in the drama, you think you are a part and parcel of the drama. Sometimes you weep with it and cry with it. But when the drama is over, you realize it was just a drama. I was not there. In the same way it happens to you, that you achieve a witness state. It happens to you. Even if you want to get involved, you cannot. You just cannot get it. That's how you can solve the problems better, because you are away from the problems. You can see what the problem is, but when you are in it, you are upset, full of tension, worries. And sometimes people get so upset with it that they commit suicide when they find no solution. But if you are away from it, then you can definitely solve the problem. Now this witness state has to grow within you gradually with little understanding and with little meditation.
Let's stay in this state of silent meditation for 1 more minute.
So let's just enjoy this silence from this beautiful music for a moment. Sit quietly and just allow it to sink in and feel that silence inside. And we can slowly open our eyes for a moment. But let's keep our attention inside and maintain that meditative mood. So earlier on, Linda shared with us all, excuse me, how to clear and balance the left and right sides. So you remember, to balance the left side, we put our right hand down toward the ground, hanging down toward the ground, kept our left hand open, and we let the element of the earth help us to clear and balance our left channel. And then when we moved to the right side, we cleared the right channel by putting our left hand up like this, with the right hand open on the lap. And we let the element of the air help us to cleanse and balance the right channel. So these are very powerful and very simple techniques. And there are many others that we'll teach you as we go along through this course for helping when our system is a little out of balance, when we feel that it's not easy to get into meditation. Then we can feel what's needed and we can clear and balance and help this all to flow better, help our Kundalini energy to flow better. But the goal is always to get into meditation. And many times what we find is that this beautiful, loving, motherly energy that Linda described very beautifully, it's so nurturing and it's so nourishing and it's so beautiful and enriching that just by meditating and giving it a chance to rise and flow, a lot of our imbalances clear up and we go into a very deep state of meditation. And we don't really need to do a lot more than that. So what I'd like to focus on for the next few minutes is a very simple meditation that you can do at home. Something you can do very easily in a short period of time to bring our attention to the nourishment that this energy is giving us, to bring our attention into that silence. So first of all, I'd like to show some of you and remind some of you how we raise this energy with our hands. So when we're beginning this meditation, we would begin by raising this energy through the movement of our hands. So the way we do that is we put our left hand in front of our sacrum bone at the base of the spine, and the left hand will make a movement like this. It will go up the center of the body. We'll follow it with our gaze, so we'll raise it up above our head, and our head will naturally tilt back as we're raising it. The right hand, while doing that, the right hand circles around the left hand like this. So we can do this together. We'll raise it up slowly, really trying to feel inside what's happening. We bring it up over the top of the head, and we make a movement like tying a knot above our heads. Like that. We bring our hands back down. We make this movement now a second time. Again, slowly, really trying to feel what we're doing. We bend the head back, and above the head, we tie 2 knots this time. And bring the hands down. And we do it a third time. Again, slowly bring it up. Really feel inside what we're doing. And above the head, we tie 3 knots. And bring the hands down. So at the very beginning of our meditation, we've helped this energy to start flowing. So if you just hold your hands out for a moment and close your eyes, you may feel the deepening effect of raising our energy this way. So there's a second movement that we do to begin, and this is really preparing our system for the meditation. This is called a bandhan, and for this we keep the left hand open. We put the right hand by the left hip, and we're going to make an arch by going up the left side of the body, over the top of the head, and down to the right hip, and then back again by the same path. So we are surrounding our whole subtle energy system with a field of this nurturing energy. And we do it a total of 7 times. So let's do it a second time together. Again, slowly, really feeling what we're doing. A third time. Fourth time. Fifth. Sixth. And the 7th. Then we can open our hands on our laps. And if our eyes are not already closed, let's close them. So once we've raised our Kundalini and put this field of energy around ourselves, and just quietly give ourselves a minute or two to settle down, we can observe our breathing. And allow our attention to slowly go inside. Maybe we're all quite settled already because we've been meditating. But when you're doing this at home, you might need a minute or two to just quietly observe the breathing and settle down and get into the right state. And we just allow the attention to go inside, to observe how we're feeling and what we're feeling without judgment, without analysis. We just observe. And once we feel a little bit settled, we can put our right hand on the top of the head, just as we did before. Let's press down a little bit on that spot where we had a soft spot when we were children. And just feel that pressure of our hand for a moment. Just tune into that feeling. And we can ask inside, addressing our own energy, Mother, please rise within me and take me into meditation. Mother, please rise within me and take me into meditation. And we can slowly raise our hand up, as we did before. And let's be aware of that space above the head. And see what we feel there with our right hand. And kind of anchor our attention, anchor our awareness up there. And then bring our hand down to our lap, but keep our attention floating there above the head. And just sit quietly for a little while. And we're going to allow our Kundalini, our energy, to do the work now of taking us deeper. We don't need to do anything but sit quietly, enjoy the silence, and observe how it deepens over the next couple of minutes. And if we feel distracted at any moment, if we lose our focus, we can just ask again, Mother Kundalini, please rise within me. Please take me into meditation. So we're close to the end of our time, but I would like to just review for a moment. This meditation really just requires that we raise the energy, put on that bandhan, settle down for a couple of minutes just to get ourselves in the right frame of mind, in the right mood, and then bring the attention here and ask our Kundalini to rise and feel it flowing, and then just sit quietly and let it work. And this is a very powerful thing to do and very simple. So, and once you're sitting quietly, you can sit for as long as you like, but even a few minutes will be significantly more beneficial than missing it. So even if you only have a few minutes, please do it. And you'll see that it really benefits you. So we'll end now by together raising the Kundalini again. So again, we circle the right hand around the left, starting at the base of the spine. Let's do it really slowly and feel inside what's happening. We'll bring it up above the top of the head and tie a knot there. We'll do it a second time. Two knots this time. And a third time. And we tie 3 knots. And bring the hands back down. Then we do, excuse me, then we do the bandhan again, putting the right hand by the left hip, and we make that arch over the top of the head to the right hip and back again. Slowly and really feeling the impact of what we're doing. So we'll do it 7 times together. And when we've finished, we can open our eyes slowly. So if you do this every day, you'll find really beautiful experiences and tremendous growth. So I'll turn it back over to Mark now to share some other information with us about what's coming up in the coming days.
Thank you, Steve and Linda, and Kirill. So the formal part of our program is about to close because we try to keep it to 1 hour. But let me tell you about what will happen in tomorrow's program. So we've looked at an image of our inner subtle system, and tomorrow we're going to explore it a bit more. So there are 7 different colored energy centers that we keep showing in the chart. So tomorrow we're going to talk about them and the qualities of these chakras. And these are qualities that express in our attitudes and our behaviors. And there's lots and lots to learn and enjoy and experience in our hands about our chakras. So the other thing that's going to happen later this week is not tomorrow, but Thursday, we're going to begin doing a cleansing treatment, which really helps to flush out blockages in our chakras. And we call it foot soaking. So what you need for foot soaking is very simple. Some kind of a basin to put your feet in, something that will hold water and salt, and just regular table salt, nothing fancy is needed. Maybe about a handful you throw in the water, and the water is a pleasant temperature. Then when you're finished foot soaking, you take your feet out of the water and you can rinse them with some fresh water, which you keep in some kind of pitcher or container, and then dry them off on a towel, which could be either a paper towel or a cloth towel. So get ready for Thursday when we're actually going to do live with you foot soaking during the course. And as you mentioned at the very beginning, no problem if you've missed an episode or you need something repeated. Everything is recorded on YouTube, and the links to all those videos are at our course website, which you can see there on this slide. The other way to, and then here is the website. And it has a lot of resources that keep growing day by day. So there's a link to the previous episodes. There's a link to our chat group in WhatsApp. So that's where you can click the green button and join us for daily reminders and some small messages. And of course, sometimes people do exchange what they've been experiencing in the course. Then the next link you'll find is to all the recordings. And day by day, we'll be adding the recordings. So then, and every day, if we have a handout, it's also placed in the folder with the link. And that's also lower in the website, we have a resources folder so that all of the handouts are placed there as well. So they're all together. So today we learned about various things, and you'll see a handout relating to that. When we do the foot soaking, you'll see a handout about the foot soaking, how to clear the left side and the right side. You'll see there's a handout for that. So if you are happy with the 1 hour program, a little bit late, then please come back tomorrow, and looking forward to seeing you again and meditating with you again. If you do want to stay on a bit longer, and if you're in the Zoom, you can ask us questions. So there's several ways to do that. Number one, you can talk to one of us through voice or video directly in a Zoom room called a breakout room. So there is a person in chat called Breakout Room Help. So let them know that you would like to talk with a Sahaja Yoga teacher. And then if you've missed something or you have a question, there's somebody there who has done Sahaja Yoga for some time and be able to share their experiences and their knowledge. The other way to get your questions answered is to send a message to one of our 3 chat Q&A people who are standing by, and that's through the chat itself. So you'll message something to them and they'll message the answer back. And then there's even a third way, which is that some of those questions may get actually forwarded to one of our hosts during the program, and then we can actually address it so that everybody in the whole room hears a response to some of the questions. We, of course, can't cover all the questions, so that's why we have these other options where you just do the text chat or get into a breakout room with somebody. So hopefully you enjoyed the program, and looking forward to seeing you another time. If you're still here and you'd like to do some Q&A, question and answer, then we're going to have Steve and Linda and Kirill on board to share what they've learned and what they're still learning about Sahaja Yoga. So we'll be checking our chats in case messages come through. And otherwise, I have a question for Kirill. Shri Mataji talks about us sometimes that we are a divine instrument. And you're a musician, you play an instrument. So how does being a divine instrument relate to playing a musical instrument?
That's a wonderful question. So, from my personal perspective, music was always has always important place in my life. But I'm not a professional musician. It's still my hobby. But Indian classical music is a unique style of music, actually, which is also very, very ancient. And it's very different from the Western type of music, which we get used to in the Western countries. And the difference, major difference between these two types of music is that in Western music we mostly have scales of two types. It's major or minor. And on the very basic, simple level, major music in major scales gives us happy mood, and the minor scales give us sad mood. And in Indian classical music, there is absolutely different structure. There is no major or minor scales. There is something in between. And this type of music, which is actually in between of these happy and sad, in the center, gives us very special state, which helps us during our meditation. And being the very ancient type of music, majority of the classical rags were composed thousands of years ago. And at that time, people noticed that this music gives us this thoughtless awareness state. And performing this music as well, given this wonderful state. And another thing, beautiful thing about this type of music is that it's very spontaneous music. There is no, there is some basic structure, but inside this structure there is no kind of strict rules. Every time a musician performing a particular rag, it will be different rag inside the rules of Indian classical music. And meditation enhance the ability of musician to be more and more spontaneous and to perform this type of music, which really is helpful for our mental state and our meditation. That's from my experience.
I'm being very creative now and thinking that if we're to be instruments ourselves, we don't want to be minor keys or major keys. We want to be in the center.
Exactly.
Steve, you are also a musician. I let the
Yeah.
secret out. In what way are you an instrument yourself?
Yeah. Well, let me just say that before I started practicing Sahaja Yoga, when I was playing music, I had a few experiences that actually led me to meditation, because what happened in playing the music, there were a few times when I felt something was playing through me. I felt that something very pure and very universal was almost like dictating the music, and I was just playing what I was receiving. And it was a very profound experience. And I started thinking, what if you could live that way? What if it wasn't just when you're playing music? What if it was just the way you lived, that you're always this universal thing, this pure thing is flowing through you, and you're just an instrument for it. Your actions and your words are coming from that. And so that I was already interested in meditation, but that experience kind of really honed in, helped me to hone in on what I was looking for. So that's what I've found, and I think many of us have found in Sahaja Yoga, is that once you feel that connection is established and it's with you, you really feel you're carrying it with you. You really feel that something very inspiring, something very pure is working through you and is guiding you through the way you live. So it's kind of like that, Mark. I don't know if that answers the question, but for me, that's how it is.
I think many musicians have felt that,
Yeah, I think so too.
that they're empty and something is simply flowing through them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Linda, you talked about the left side and the right side. Some people say, oh, I think I'm always in the left side. What does that mean when they say I'm always in that one side or in the other side?
Well, it means, or I'm sure it means different things to different people, but because the left side and the right side have different kinds of aspects and manifestations. But for many people, when we say we're left-sided or I'm in the left, it's a shorthand for saying that my left, the qualities, divine qualities that are inside me of my left side channel are not able to manifest because I'm not feeling creative and I'm feeling worried and I'm feeling upset and depressed even could be. So it's when we feel lethargic or just there's a sort of heaviness emotionally that comes over us, a kind of slowness, a slow feeling in our life that it's and when we practice Sahaja Yoga, it's not just, oh, there's that emotion or there's that unfortunate state that I'm in, but we can actually do something about it. And that's the beauty of what we were showing you today, is that you, with this simple hand position, where you put your left hand out and your right hand towards the earth helps to clear us out. And we can, this is to me what was something so incredible about Sahaja Yoga, because I often did get depressed before I was practicing Sahaja Yoga, and I felt completely helpless, just sort of wait for it to go away most of the time. But once I started practicing, I realized, well, wait a minute, I don't have to feel this way. There's a way out. And the way out is that now my Kundalini is awakened, I can go up here and I can do the various techniques to relieve that heaviness of the left side and get back to the center. So same thing for the right side. For too intense, too much thinking and planning, too high strung, we can not just relax and maybe swing to the left, which is often what happens, but just as Steve was showing us, and I was too, bring your attention to the top of your head, go into that hand position. Foot soaking helps that a lot. Anyway, I'll use the techniques. Don't feel, first be aware of it, and you will feel it. I don't know how many of you out there were feeling when we said, what are you feeling on your right or left hands? Because your hands will definitely start to speak to you about the condition of your left and right channel. So that's how Sahaja Yoga is really transformational, because we're not stuck with feeling left-sided or right-sided if it comes upon us.
I'm really curious, Kirill, that if you're like me, maybe there are moments in the day, very few, of course, which you're not in the center. Maybe you've gone into the left or the right. Can picking up your instrument and playing a tune actually pull you into the center, or do you first have to kind of get your attention to the center first, or does the music actually have an effect on you to help to balance yourself?
Sure, the music is a really powerful instrument, and it can help you to get balance, that for sure. And that's why Indian classical music is a really great instrument for helping to get rid of any kind of anxiety or stress as well. But yeah, this spontaneous way of flowing this music, I think the performer has to be in this state, in the good state of thoughtless awareness to make this music flow. But just listening this music can help anyone with any trouble with the meditation or attention. Then attention just gets settled where it should be.
Does it matter what time of day you listen to music, Steve, to help you get into the center? Or it's like, oh, I'm feeling upset. Where's my stereo or where's my piano?
Well, yeah, I think sometimes I think about it almost like in stages or levels. Like the ideal level would be to be in silence. And so if I'm really not in silence and there's music that I feel will bring me back to that point, it doesn't matter what time of day it is. It's more just, I think we become more and more tuned into that state and to what's going to get us back there. We become more aware of when we're not there also. So, if you're feeling tense, like a lot of people will at the end of a day where they've had a stressful, tense day, they'll come home and they'll put on some music that relaxes them or that brings them a little bit more into a peace, because they've had a stressful work day. So it's that kind of thing of using music as a tool whenever you need it. And to me, the silence is sort of the best. And if you can't get silence, music may often help you to get there if it's the right music. So Kirill has the advantage of working with a system of music that is designed to bring you into that state. So that's very beautiful. That's particularly subtle music.
Yeah. I was once at a concert in the company of Shri Mataji, and I have to think that the musician who was sitting just a few feet from her was being influenced by her energy. And he played the most amazing notes and tunes on a sitar, which is another Indian classical instrument. And at some point during the concert, I became aware that my attention was here above all my thoughts. And once I noticed where my attention was, then I started to notice the effect of the notes that were being played. And there would be like a sequence of maybe 2 or 5 notes, and whatever good feeling I was feeling had just expanded. It was extraordinary to be completely in the present moment in a state of unbelievable good feeling everywhere, and then have somebody who was expanding that state just through the music they were playing. It was amazing. I'm just asking a practical question to Kirill. How many years have you been studying your instrument?
I started to learn Santoor in 2011 in Nagpur, India, and trying to do it consistently since that time, but not always. So, yeah.
Do you notice how your practices are different, whether you are beginning in the left side or beginning in the right side, how it goes?
Oh yeah, for sure, absolutely. When it started from the left side, I get balanced very easily. Maybe it depends on the personality of the particular person. When I started from when I overthinking or maybe like very super active, it's sometimes very difficult to start in the proper way. Actually, the different instruments are very different, and for example, Santoor, it has many strings, and sometimes just tuning it takes like 20-30 minutes and it just only this is like a meditation. So
Okay, so here's a question from somebody in the chat, which I guess we can share with the whole group here. By the time this meeting is underway, this 21-day course, the air has become cooler because it's now becoming the evening. So is that just the temperature of the air, or is it the effect of being in this meeting? What do you say, Linda?
Yeah, I mean, it's sometimes tempting to think that it's, the air conditioning or the outside atmosphere that's the weather that's causing the feeling of cool, but actually it is coming from it probably is coming from your experience of your Kundalini and the meditation. I'll share with you when I was very, very new, my first few weeks of practicing Sahaja Yoga, and I really wasn't sure about this cool breeze, and so I thought it was coming from somewhere in the room. So I literally closed the door, and it wasn't a very big closet actually, but I actually sat in a closet, closed the door, and meditated, and tried to see if I was still feeling that cool breeze, and sure enough, it was there. So try it if you want.
Okay. Here's another question. Can doing this meditation help you if your left and right side are physically unbalanced? Steve.
Well, yes. I guess, there are a couple of ways to approach that. I think if you focus on the subtle, in other words, on what you're actually feeling in the left and right channels, and you work with that the way Linda showed you, balancing the left and right, you'll find that gradually those improve. In some cases, depending upon what kind of problem you're having physically, it may also help the physical problems to improve. But I would say yes, definitely, it can help. It can clear. It can balance by using this technique, even if you have physical problems or limitations on the left and right sides of the body. We're really dealing with the subtle flow of energy, and that's the place to put the attention to really make progress.
Okay, here's a question for Kirill. Someone's asking, what's the right age to start Sahaja Yoga? And you're muted.
I'm sorry. Any age is the right age. I started when I was 2 years old, and now I am 35. Doing well so far.
And you can't say that it made you look younger, otherwise you'd look like you were 1 year old. So, all right. Okay, here's a question for Linda. Can certain emotions affect your physical state?
Yes. So the chakras, okay, there's so many ways to answer this, but let me say that when we become sensitive to the condition of our channels and our chakras, and you will become more sensitive the longer you do this. We started to think about to feel what was on our hands. We're going to feel on particular fingers. Eventually you'll be able to feel on particular chakras, whether they're clear or blocked. And tomorrow we're going to share with you about the qualities of each chakra, and of course they each have a position on the body. So let me give an example. I mean, if let's say in my stomach, my third chakra, called the Nabi, it has to do with being content and not worrying about money or your jobs and that kind of thing. And if you do worry about all those things, then we know it's kind of a common thing. You might get an ulcer, or you might have some stomach problems. It's kind of a common relationship that we have between those kinds of behaviors and thoughts and perceptions and the physical implications of that. So, but what's amazing in Sahaja Yoga is that actually it can relate to, like, if you feel fearful, you can get and that's like, for example, here in our center heart, you can know that from what you feel on your hands or on your body. Then you can work on it, you can clear it with the techniques, with asking the Kundalini to clear, various techniques to do that, and you can avoid a physical problem by getting to the root of the problem, which is at the level of the chakra. So it's a way of, yes, there is a connection, absolutely, but what Sahaja Yoga will give you is a real way to avoid that problem.
One thing about the left and right sides, which I'm slowly starting to learn, is that there is what I would call an enlightened left side. And that means I'm visiting Steve and I'm having a great time, but now I have to leave. I have a flight. I have to fly home from Florida to New Jersey. So there might be tears in my eyes, and it feels so good. It's the pure expression of how much I'm going to miss being with a good friend. So I call that the pure left side. And it's like, yeah, let's not be afraid of this really, really sweet, beautiful emotions that we do feel in moments of feeling the reality of something that's very emotional. And also, I now understand that there is the pure right side where I'm coming home from the grocery store and I'm thinking of my wife, and maybe I do an extra burst of activity and I go and I find some flowers and bring them home to my wife. And that was using some thought and some action and using muscles. And that's the right side, but it's in the service of expressing something very pure and coming from the center. So we don't need to be afraid of being too active or too emotional, as long as we are aware that it's expressing something very pure and very beautiful. So anyway, it's so delightful to just spend time with you guys, and no one wants to go to bed when you're hanging out with people who are so much in the depths of this meditation and enjoying so much together. But I think we can bring this program that is being broadcast to a close. But for the people who are in the Zoom, we will still remain here in the Zoom for people who want to continue to ask for a breakout room to ask a question, or who want to text a chat to one of those chat Q&A people. So if you're in the Zoom, you can still spend some more time here if you have some more questions, things you want to share. But for the rest of us, we invite you to return tomorrow for the next session of our online course, and have a very good evening. Maybe try a short meditation before you sleep tonight, see how it feels. And thanks very much for attending today. And thanks to our amazing guests, I guess we can call them, Kirill, Linda, and Steve.
Thank you.
Good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Good night.